Planted some sweet potatoes down here with you some time ago. To be honest, I would have to go back to check to see when I planted them. I don't remember the exact date or month when I planted them. But I'm going to test one of the bags to see if there anything producing in there. Because if there aren't anything producing, even young sweet potatoes, they're not going to produce again. My name is Marie if you're new here. And this is our container garden in which we grow most of the fresh produce that we eat presently. I plan to grow all of them. Struggling with potatoes. But I've done sweet potatoes successfully before, but never in sacks. So let me see what's going on in these. When I initially planted them, that bag died. So I replanted those at a later date. These ones should have something going on in there, so I'm going to try one. Guys, wish me luck. So this is my potato. I'm gonna plant back slips from these. Before I dig into this, guys, I should show you how I prepared the bags to plant these. So if it is successful or if not, then you know you shouldn't follow me. If it's not successful, but if it is, then you know where to start to get the sweet potatoes going. So take a look, guys, and then join me back right in this bag when we check to see if there's anything going on. This is horse manure mixed with topsoil, my favorite soil mix. So we're putting the sacks together. My son out here helping me to transport this material. Sweet potatoes love sunlight, so I'm gonna be careful to ensure that they're not shaded out too much. Malik, bring the scoop when you come in here. This need more. Definitely need more. Now, as I said, when you're planting potatoes, ensure you're planting them where there is a lot of sunlight. They love sunlight. Otherwise, they'll just have pretty green leaves and they won't produce any tubers. So, at each leaf, it will push out some roots. So, I'm putting at least 3, maybe 4 of those little joints, or what you'd call, I don't know what you call those. I'm putting at least 3 to 4 of those in the soil. So, the potatoes usually produce right where the roots are. So at least I'll get 3 potatoes. I'm not greedy at this point. You should grow, because if I just place them on the ground, they would grow. So why not grow if I plant you? Yeah? So please grow. These bags I'm going to mulch once they start growing. I'm going to mulch them heavily so the moisture is kept in there. for a very long time. Okay, looking for place to put it down. But back to the sweet potatoes. So you've planted your sweet potatoes just like I did a while ago, or in whatever. Hmm, mm, mm, mm. Whatever container you want to plant your sweet potato in or in ground. No, that manure that was added to the soil has a lot of nitrogen in there, and that is to get the plant going. After this initial manure in the soil, the first set that I put no more manure, because what you don't want is a lot of potato leaves and no potato tubers, sweet potatoes. So after the plants start growing and sweet potatoes start producing food immediately after producing their first set of leaves, if you should pull up the plant, you'll see tiny sweet potatoes forming on the roots. So after the plant get established and start going, then I'll fertilize with more stuff that is high in phosphorus, calcium, and potassium. And I find those nutrients present in uh, compost tea, compost. You can just add compost, regular compost to the soil. You can blend eggshells and pour in there. You can put a little ash that is high in phosphorus and potassium, also has a little calcium. Bone meal, if you don't have access to any of those natural things that you find around the place, you can add bone meal. But my most used fertilizer is compost tea. And that has a lot of kitchen scraps, eggshells, fish, emulsion. Those sort of things are used to fertilize after planting the sweet potatoes in order to get tubers from there. I've not gotten massive harvest, but I've gotten good harvest from my sweet potatoes. And that's because I just used this is the last video I shared with you. What was I doing? Preparing soil. That was the first time I've ever used bone meal. So I've only been using things that I find around the yard. And so my potatoes wasn't the massive ones, but they produced well with how I planted them and fertilized them. So I am happy. Just like I'm happy with this tiny watermelon. Tiny organic, but very sweet and delicious. Hey, I'll come over this side so I don't block your view. The bag tearing up number one. So the idea of planting these in bags was so that I can just flip it over. But let me just peep. I have no idea if anything going on in there. I'm just seeing roots so far. Just roots. Hey! You know what? I'm not going to flip the bag. I'm going to just dig around and look, because there's a sweet potato forming right there on that vine. So let me just dig around and see. And the soil is so loose in here. So if there are no potatoes, it's not because the soil isn't loose, but maybe it's because the soil probably too rich. Because that can be the case. The soil can be too rich. Apart from this tiny sweet potato, let me show you. I'm not seeing anything. I'm going to try another bag. If nothing, not in this one. Oops. I'm not seeing anything, guys. No sweet potato inside. Or sweet potato forming. I want the soil, so I'm not turning it over in the rocks because I want the soil. Alright. This don't look promising. Let me check another bag. This don't look promising at all. There should be potatoes forming even if they're not ready. So not seeing any. Not good. Check another bag. There are 2 bags back here. I need to get back there. Alright. There are 2 bags back here, believe it or not. Two bags down in here. Let me see. I'm seeing ants. Oh dear. Oh my gosh. I'm going to turn this bag over. My word. As was the intention. Excuse me. I don't think there's any sweet potato in here. Oh, should I give up on sweet potato? Never. Never giving up. Don't see anything in there. Nothing that looks sweet potato-ish. So I waste my dirt. I don't know. How long ago did I plant these? I don't know. This looked like it was going to produce something. It looked that way, but it's been a while. They should be producing by now. Look. That look. I don't know. Try one more. This is the last one I'm trying. I'm going to try again though. I'm not turning this one out. I'm gonna give it a second chance because it looks like this one with the fat roots. All of those fat roots should be sweet potatoes. I'm going to leave the others and see if we have any luck. Still hopeful. I'm going to double check the dates and see. Let me put back this one in the bag so that if it intends on producing, it will. Probably lost all faith in me. It's so funny because when I prepared the soil for the potatoes that I've harvested, when I prepared that soil, it was nothing compared to these ones. I mean, the soil that I plant, it probably is too rich. Because one of the things that can happen is, sunset is so beautiful. I'm filming in the afternoon, in the evening. It's to 6 in the, it's not evening yet, late afternoon. One other thing is, if there is too much nitrogen in the soil, then you'll have a lot of leaves. And I do have a lot of leaves on my sweet potatoes and no tubers. And I should have fertilized these. Usually I add like crushed eggshells and ash and so on to my root vegetables, and to be honest, these were neglected. So those might have been 2 very, very expensive mistakes that I made. I did not fertilize, and I probably had too much manure, so probably the soil was too rich. because you'll have nice leaves that we're feeding the rabbits with. But as you can see clearly, there are no potatoes in the garden. So even though this was a fail in terms of harvest, it is a lesson, a very, very important lesson that we are learning, that I am learning when planting root vegetables. Scale back, way back on the manure, the high nitrogen fertilizer, and up the potassium and calcium and phosphorus fertilizer in the soil. That way we should get a better yield. And I learned that after I planted these sweet potatoes. So I am learning as I grow. So yes, this is a big fail for now, because I still have 1, 2, 3 bags that I'm going to fertilize and water and see if I can get any sweet potatoes from those. So these 2 are fails, but there is hope after this learning curve. All right, guys, so I want to thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me when I win, and thank you for joining me when I lose. Appreciate the support. Thank you, guys. Please like and leave your comments. Even though you dislike the disappointment, give me a thumbs up, guys. That encourages me too. Thank you for doing that. Remember, guys, to share the videos with your friends. Subscribe if you've not already done so, and press the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I post new videos. Thank you so much, and take care until tomorrow. Bye, guys.